In today's English lesson, we are going to talk about the most difficult words in English to pronounce. And I am so busy, I had to film the intro to this lesson while I am driving. And I have good news. I'm gonna keep my eyes on the road. I can't really look at the camera. Oh, we're at a red light. I have some good news. The sponsors of this video, ELSA English, they have a great deal for you, and they specialize in helping people pronounce things in English. It's like the perfect combination. You can't see all the trash in my back seat, can you? I hope not. My son, he's home from school, and he trashed my back seat. And I'm also going back to my school because I think I forgot my wallet in my classroom. I need my wallet. I can't pay for anything without my wallet. Well, I'm hoping that my wallet is on my desk, because if not, I don't know where it's at. Let's talk about the first word that is difficult to pronounce in English, and that is squirrel. Squirrel. That's not good. I don't see my wallet. Hopefully it will turn up. Do you know that English phrasal verb? If you've lost something, you're hoping it will turn up. You just find it, and you didn't expect to find it. But we're not talking English phrasal verbs today. We're talking difficult words to pronounce in English. So squirrel is the first one. Squirrel. Now the good news is you don't really have to say squirrel that often, but there are a couple sounds in that word that appear in other words. So it would be great if you can eventually pronounce squirrel. But there is a little bit of a dance that your tongue has to do when you say squirrel. I'm hoping if I keep saying squirrel, then you will be able to say it. But let's practice very slowly talking about saying squirrel. Squirr. So that beginning sound is a lot like squirm or squirt. So if you can say that word part, you'll be able to say squirrel. It's the second part that's hard, right? And that also appears in our second word of the lesson, rural. Rural. So squirrel, let's practice it in a sentence that I think is pretty hard. The squirrel scurried around the tree looking for an acorn. The squirrel scurried around the tree looking for an acorn. When you say squirrel, your tongue has to kind of curl up towards the top of your mouth. Squirrel. Now, the good news is, I'm trying to find some good sun here. The good news is, I mean, how many times do you have to talk about a squirrel? Yeah, they're little animals, and in the fall they look around for acorns. Do you know what an acorn is? I'll put a picture up there. But the next word is rural. Rural. And right up there I will show you how it's spelled. Rural. The good news about this is that there are other words you can use besides rural. We'll talk about those in a minute, but rural. It's definitely an R, but it has that same sound as the second sound, like squirrel. Rural. Rural. It means not the city. The opposite of rural is urban. But instead of saying rural, you can say the country. If somebody lives in a rural part of the United States, they live out in the country. So if you hear urban, think city. If you hear rural, think out in the country, out in the sticks. sometimes we say. So that would mean they probably don't have a McDonald's nearby if they live in a rural part of the town. They don't have a Walmart near them if they live in a rural part of town. Rural. If you can't say rural, just say somebody's car alarm is going off. They can't. Okay, it stopped. If you can't say rural, say out in the country. If you can't say squirrel, I guess just don't talk about those little furry animals. Now I need to go pick up my daughter. I need to be there in 10 minutes. We're good. I will make it. But if you want a sentence, oh, please don't look at the trash in my back seat. If you want a sentence to practice shadowing with rural, here's one. Do you live in a rural part of town? Rural. Sometimes when I say rural, there's a click my tongue makes. I don't mean to make it. Sometimes it happens. Rural. Say it enough times and it starts sounding really weird. The next one, number 3, is burger. Now this one isn't all that difficult to say, but I hear some people pronounce it the wrong way. I know burger is spelled with a U, but we actually pronounce that with an E. So instead of trying to say, I don't know, it's even harder to say it, burger, with the U, I can't even say it. But I have heard some people try to pronounce it like it's actually a U. No, we pronounce it an E. Burger, like hamburger, but it's short, burger. And if you're a vegetarian, I guess you probably don't have to say it all that much. Anyways, burger, pronounce it like it's an E. Do you want a sentence to practice shadowing? How about this one? You gonna eat that burger? You gonna eat that burger? So you might say, hey, are you going to eat that burger? Maybe you're at a cookout and there are a whole lot of hamburgers to eat, and you have eaten some, and there's only one left. There's only one left, and you and another person are standing by the plate of burgers. You may ask that other person, hey, you can eat that burger? You see how I said that? Sometimes you don't even need to put the you there. Gonna eat that burger? Gonna eat that burger? Gonna eat that burger? Try that out. It's kind of quick, but you'll sound like a real native English speaker if you say it like that. Gonna eat that burger? You gonna eat that burger? Gonna eat that burger? If you're a vegetarian, just pretend it's a veggie burger. Do you want to see something funny? I come and pick my daughter up at her school pretty much every day, Monday through Friday, and there's always this car parked here, and it looks like somebody spray painted the side of their car, and it says wavy. I don't understand what that means. Wavy. I've always wanted to know, how did that happen? Did they make somebody mad and they just spray painted their car? It's been there forever. Hey, I'm right here by the river, taking a little break from driving all around, and I thought this would be the perfect time to tell you about today's sponsor, ELSA English. Not too long ago, I asked you, what do you think the hardest part about learning English is? And overwhelmingly, you said speaking. Nearly 70% of you said speaking, and ELSA English is the perfect app to help you with your speaking. There's so much you can do with ELSA English, but my favorite place to go is the study sets. And in the part of the study sets that I like to go is what's called the dictionary. And in the dictionary part, you can practice some of the words we are studying in this lesson.
Squirrel.
I just typed in squirrel. Now I can have the app say it to me.
Squirrel.
Squirrel. Maybe that was a little too fast. I'll push the little snail.
Squirrel.
Squirrel. All right, and now I can practice saying it, and ELSA English will grade me on how well I pronounce that word. Squirrel. 94%. Not bad. Now, I'm a native English speaker. You might not score that high, but what you can do is practice getting higher and higher a little bit every day. And as a special deal for viewers of this channel, ELSA English is offering 85% off a lifetime membership, or 40% off a membership for a year. But maybe you're like, Brent, I don't know if I want to commit for a year or a lifetime. There's also a link in the description where you can try it for free for 7 days. The next word that's hard to pronounce for English learners is temperature. Temperature. If you look at that word, you might not know that there's actually a sound there that sounds like an I. Temperature. 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 That's how we pronounce it. I am always asking Siri on my phone, hey, Siri. Hey, Siri. What's the temperature out today?
The high temperature today will be 63 degrees Fahrenheit, and the low will be 37 degrees Fahrenheit.
Did you hear her? She does Fahrenheit because I live in the United States, but 63 degrees. It's not bad. It's actually sweatshirt weather. I'm very comfortable out here in my sweatshirt. Now, would I like to go swimming in that river right now? No, it's a little too cold for that, but it's still early spring here. I can't be too greedy. The next one that is difficult is specific. Specific. It starts with an S. Even a lot of native English speakers have trouble with this. A lot of times they will say Pacific. Now, in English, we have an ocean. It's over by California and Japan. That's the Pacific Ocean. But we're talking about specific. It means exact. The opposite of specific is vague. So let's say my daughter is going out on a Friday night and she's saying, hey, I'm gonna be back later. I might say, no. I need a specific time. What time are you going to be back? 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m.? I need a specific time. Luckily, my daughter is very nice and I don't have any problems with her staying out too late. But if she's ever going to just say, I'll be back later, I might say, hey, no, I need a specific time. Were you ever wondering if I found my wallet? I actually did. It was in the center console of my car. I'll show you what a center console is, but my car is such a mess. It's my fault. It's my fault. And it's also my son's fault. But the next word is thorough. Thorough. That's a pretty tough word to say. Thorough. And what made me think of that word is I had to look for my wallet thoroughly. It means done well, done with a lot of detail. Like if you hire somebody to clean your house, or maybe I need to hire somebody to clean my dirty car, I want the job to be done thoroughly. Thoroughly. That's the adverb form of thorough. It describes the way something is done. Thorough. Thoroughly. I hope that helped you learn how to pronounce some very tricky English words as I'm crossing a street and hopefully not getting hit. I definitely need to do a part 2, but until then, take a look at a live lesson I did with movie vocabulary. Thanks for watching. See you next time.